p.m. Eastern. At first glance, really nothing out of the ordinary or nothing we haven't seen in the past. Fed staff assumed GDP growth for the rest of 2023 would be dampened a bit by the UAW strike in the Ford and GM ongoing work disruption there. So that's one slight change that comes month over month. I'll continue to read through these as we get going here this afternoon. Overall, market actually back to the upside here on this note so far. Again, looks like September 1920 policy meeting generally judged risk to achieving FOMC's goal had become more two-sided, according to the minutes. So again, more or less the same thing that we've heard and seen in the past. Market, though, liking this so far, a bit of an uptick here. We're trying to get back to positive territory for the S&P 500. It's been all about some of the tech names leading the way as far as positivity is concerned. This afternoon, Google, Microsoft, and Meta all back to the upside. Apple just back into positive territory as well. It's only AMD and QCOM really in the chip area of the world that are lagging. Cisco, Oracle standing out there downside as far as some of the software names. Eli Lilly, really nice day so far, 4% on that Ozempic headline this morning. J&J, Merck, downside. Meanwhile, banks under a little bit of pressure here ahead of earnings coming up on Friday. Remember that. Energy names under a little bit of pressure as well. Oil continuing to slide a little bit downside. But overall, we're still inside, as far as the S&P 500 is concerned, inside of yesterday's range. Fed minutes, or Fed officials say, saw monetary policy working to restrain the economy as intended. Officials said they need more data indicating abating inflation pressures. So, yeah, this could be, as Sharif was just saying there, a bit of a nothing burger, as they typically are. I mean, remember, this is a summary of what happened last month. So at the Fed meeting last month, they just sum it up in the actual minutes from the meeting. So there's typically not much that will be too significant, but the market trying to get back to the upside overall. Welcome back in. Let's get into a few things we were discussing if you were with us this morning. We were talking a lot of big tech in the pre-market, specifically top of the watch list this morning. Here goes Amazon right now, actually back to the upside as we head into day number 2, or I guess halfway through now. Day number 2 of Big Prime Deal Day, or whatever it's called. Trying to test this high right now, guys. Still positive on the session here. I'll continue to read through some of these.
Yeah, that's what they call it. Welcome. I don't know if you, well, it's kind of a nothing burger.
Big Prime Day.
There was a big push, a decent push to the upside, let's just say. Okay, well, I'll get to Amazon in a second. But if you looked at the afternoon, while going into this number, there were some pretty obvious levels. I'm just going to get this one out of the way. Here's Apple. This is 179. On that little bit of a push, it was like a 40-cent move on Apple on that Fed minutes and maybe 20 handles or something on the futures. So into the 179, I just shorted off of that level. Now we can get to Amazon, which, again, not a lot of things have been moving around. Like you have a 50-cent range this afternoon on Amazon with the 130 support, 129.5 as well. I thought it was going to be a 132, and that was it for me on Amazon. So I sat it out. I thought the short was going to be up here at 132 on the daily. I guess there's a chance we can still get to it, but it's been the other one. It's 131 even that has been your resistance zone. But with a range this tight, I just feel as if you got to play the range. Like waiting around for 132 is not going to get you anywhere. 131 is that high. Apple 179 looks pretty decent, so I'm shorting off that level. But until you prove otherwise, if we have an inside afternoon, which is 50 handles on the NASDAQ, then play inside of the range. 131 on Amazon. I sat it out because I thought the big resistance was going to be 32. But it's Apple that I'm in anyways.
Yeah, I'm right now short Meta. Whoa. Oh, darn it. I had my pen gone. Okay, so it's kind of crazy because we were talking about going long 325 Meta. We did that for a minute there. Then we got stopped out, which was fine. Then we went short. We got stopped out and went short again right now and actually really started to bank off of 326. 326 short, short, short. Like that out right there is 324.80. So these are like huge outs, and we just we waited because we saw the imbalance. the Fed come through right there, so we knew that we had to wait. So we put a little bit higher. We didn't wait for VWAP. We just kind of waited for this level right there, 326.50. So we got a 326.25 fill, and then all we've taken is 25 cents. Risk 1-to-1, but we're out of half right now. So we cannot lose on this trade. Obviously, if it rips up, we'll give back what we've made here, but we're just bouncing around the 200 period right now on Meta. See, here we go. Don't do it. Get down right now. Hopefully we can get a downside move. I'm super excited to talk to everybody about Birkenstock, but I see that's near the bottom here. So we'll get to that in a little bit. But, oh, Amazon, Meta's next time. Okay, so I'm talking about Meta now. Let's go over to Brendan and Sharif there, and they can give us the news about Meta, but right now I'm currently short.
I'm going to make an executive decision and make a slight change to the board and talk about Burke now. How about that? Just like that.
Well, that's why you are the boss around here.
Thoughts,
you can make those decisions.
thoughts on this Birkenstock IPO? I mean, it comes out, way below where they priced this thing. What was it, $40 and change? Yeah. When it actually opens up. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a second here, but give me your thoughts here on this opening.
I got to tell you, Brendo, like I said on the midday, I don't know how to trade these IPOs. I typically stay away from them. I think you have to be a really good tape reader to be able to see this. I'm a chart trader, so typically stay away. But yeah, that 40-50 looks like a hell of a level. Look how many dips we have into that 40-50 area, Brendo. And now we're above VWAP. But yeah, as quickly as we got into 42.25, as quickly as we retraced back into 41.25. Be careful with this one, guys. Size in accordingly.
Yeah, given the price action, maybe 46 was a little bit on the pricey side of things. They did say, middle to the upper end of what they were thinking. So here we are back maybe towards the bottom end of what they were thinking, guys.
I'm just glad I didn't like this one in some ways because I didn't want the opening print, and then in the chat, I think it was Comp SRX, is like, what are you thinking for this? I'm like, I'm not taking the opening print, but if I see support in front of 40 somewhere, then I'll just go long in front of that support. And the best part about it is it ran stops at 40.50, but you could just get right back in front of it. So I was long twice in the 40.60s. One time it stopped out. The other time I covered everything on the fail break of 42. I took it again. It bounced, rejected 41, and it stopped out. And I'll probably take it again if it can go. But each time it's gotten under the 40.50, I've just gotten out. And each time it's actually held. I think this can just be a case of, hey, they were probably a little bit overzealous with the pricing. But once it found a bid, it's not a case of it opening at 50 and getting dumped off. It ends up opening 10% down, and then there's just not that many sellers because it was so much lower. What annoys me about this is tomorrow you're going to, if this holds 40 and then ends up closing at like 41.5 or 42, all you're going to hear about is the unsuccessful IPO, Birkenstock down so-and-so, when really the market bought it at the open price, as opposed to like Instacart where it, you're above the issue price, but just sells off the entire day. So, good for this. If you took the opening print, you could have held it. That's reasonable, I suppose, and it wasn't even that bad. But they still can't figure out a way to open these up in a timely manner, which is hilarious to me. The next time they do this, I'm just
really
gonna.
Ridiculous.
It's stupid, is what it really is. Like, come on. You have all of this technology. You know you're doing it today. Everybody knows they got to get their orders in. And you just still open it after 1 o'clock. But whatever. It's been a successful trading one, even though you're going to hear a lot about this tonight, about how bad it was for those who took the issue.
All right, let's first of all, Brendan, how did you switch it, man? All I want to do is talk about Meta, but let's go right now. There's Meta, nice downside move, finally starting to break down. But let's go over to a big trade alert right now for Birkenstock. So we take the 41 open, right? We start getting it out 50 cents, 60 cents, 70 cents. Pulls back. We don't do anything down here. We just wait for it. My stop was going to be 40 break. Give it $1. Didn't hit, so no problem. Came back up. Boom, boom, boom. There is $1.50, as Neil mentioned. Came back in, and then we just simply got right there. Nice little reload there at 40.50, and then nice upside move. And I actually should have put an offer there. I wanted to try. So look, if this breaks lower, we're going to be out of Birkenstock. We just told you that, breaking through 40. But the thing is, we've seen so many of these absolutely rip near the end of the day. And we've seen so many come back down to the downside as well. So if it can hold 40, fine. you know, but if it breaks back down below, then we will obviously have to get out. We've made enough money now on this that it's not going to be a negative trade for us no matter what. I'm staring in the face right now, 50 cents. We could take it if we want to. I do have an offer. Actually, no, I do not. I am going to put an offer up here at 42 in case we get a little bit of a run, but then let's hold the rest for the party on coming at the end of the day, if there is one at all. So that's what we're going to wait for right here. Our love for IPO trades continue. The only one that's been sour was Instacart pretty much. That Klaviyo, I think, was just kind of boring in the first little while. I'll have to look back to see that one. But ARM was pretty huge. And Birkenstock, actually, I thought this was set up kind of for an Instacart disappointment, to be honest with you. I think everybody got lucky that it opened at 41 and not 46, where it was signaling to begin with, because this kind of valuation pretty much comes in line there a little bit below where we were expecting or where it was pegged out to be. So for right now, Birkenstock, like Neil said, down 10%. Let's see where this thing really does close. My next offer is up here at 42, but there you go, man. I'm going to disagree a little bit with Sharif. I think they're pretty easy to trade. You just got to do like what Neil and I mentioned there, have your levels, and then have multiple strategies. Not one shoe fits everybody, you know, and I think, well, sometimes they do if you have the same size. But, you know, it's...
Like maybe like...
Fingerprint? Snowflake?
T-shirts can be one size. One size fit all shoe, can you?
Well, if anyone else wears 13s, they may fit in my shoes. But... Okay, let's go back to the desk, but it was a pretty good play. I think we'll just continue to do that on IPOs. Take the IPO print, have a stop. If it gets, like Neil's stop was 40, 50, that had been mine in the past. You know, we were just lucky enough to, if you come to my screen right here, we were lucky enough to have gotten some out here for 50 cents plus. So when it went against me 50 cents, I was kind of like, 1-to-1. So that's all. It was being a little bit stubborn trying to hold it. And then I just put my stop at 40. It could have easily continued down there to 40 and we would be red on this. But trading, as you know, is a small bit of luck as well. So, all right, let's go back there. Tesla, more cuts. Let's go find out what the stock is doing.
Yeah, price cuts once again today, coming off of multiple over the past couple of days following those delivery numbers that came out that missed estimates. So back to the downside, although we did test that high from yesterday right out of the gate this morning. 268, 269 comes back into play. But yeah, now down 0.5% here, back within the range from yesterday.
Yeah, Citigroup with another price cut, like you mentioned there, dropping this one to neutral from 278 to 271. Again, you know, we're going to have to wait and see what these capital expenditures and margin compression do to the company. We're going to find out October 18th. Make sure to check out the aftermarket show when Tesla reports.
Yeah, it's worth noting on the daily chart, if you zoom out a little bit, we're really kind of working our way into this really tight consolidation now ahead of said earnings coming up next week.
Next week gets exciting. We always love the start of earnings season, and the first explosive earnings should be Tesla. First, I want to shout out, thank you, Alex Diaz, for the super chat. I've been a member for almost 2 years. Love it, and love the teamwork. Adara, keep up the superb work. I hope she heard that. Doing a fantastic job. We love having new members of the team. Absolutely kick butt. Tesla, you know, I didn't trade Tesla today. I don't know if you traded Tesla. So Tesla, it's weird. Every now and then this will happen. My chart looks like I called the bottom, but I actually just left this 261 from last week because I wasn't here the last couple of days. So I had a couple of levels marked off, 253 and 261. It just so happens that's the low today on Tesla, and it's got support down there, but is what it is. I think the bigger story here is Friday's, I keep saying Friday, yesterday's afternoon bottom, this 262.5, has turned from support into immediate resistance. So that to 263 is looking like a little bit of a fade. You can see what's happening there. Like it was bid, now it's showing you resistance at that same 263 with a 61 bottom. I think that's just kind of it's a happy coincidence that ends up being low. I didn't trade off of that level because, again, I put that line in the chart last week. It's really this 262.5 into 63, which is a fade. If we break that to the top, I think you can get to VWAP. All that said, it was Apple 189 that I decided to be in. I have gotten out once. This wick is annoying, but it's gotten down to 178.70, and it's looking like it's going to hold VWAP. I had one reload, and then I'm just getting out if it breaks 179. But Tesla, 262.5, 263, that's the short zone if we don't actually break out on these futures. And breakout means above 15.3 on the NASDAQ.
All right. Yeah, I mean, that was good. Obviously, Neil just talked about Tesla right there. I'm still looking at Meta. We've just taken a couple pieces. Oh, Meta's next. All right, let's go over to the board right there. I keep doing that.
He shifted.
And let's just talk about Meta after. So I'm just short Meta. You just need to know that. All right, Brendo.
I should put it down another one. Yeah. All right, let's talk about, first off, RVMD just did this. Yeah, so just be aware, RVMD going crazy right now. I'm still looking up why, but it's a bioscience company, so it might be like a FDA decision or something like that. But 13.5%, big pop here for RVMD. Yeah, there wasn't much on Meta as far as actual news headlines this morning. Couple of analyst moves, but I mean, big tech in general ahead of some of these key numbers. Obviously, PPI this morning, CPI tomorrow morning, going to be on watch.
Okay, Brendo, so we closed higher on, we wicked higher on July 27th, but today, if we close at this price, it'll be the highest we've closed in 52 weeks on Meta.
There you go.
So Meta's closing price will be likely a 52-week high if we can hold these levels. Meta, meteoric rise, man. I mean, what is it up on the year so far? It is up about, one moment here, 170.85%. So there you go. This one was trading at $90 last October, Brendo.
You know, I was reading a thing last night on, we can do this later, but I was reading a thing last night about the market, and it was, I think it was the SPY they were looking at, and it was 23 of the last 50 closes were lower lows. Or something like that, and it was like the first time ever that had happened. Anyway,
Love that quant stuff.
Thoughts on Meta, Sean?
Yeah, thoughts on Meta. So, okay, I have something blasting in my ear right now. Yeah, so let's go look at plug power right now. I'm going crazy. No. All right, so Meta, look, we were doing the same kind of thing here, shorting Meta through 326. We wrote down 325, and we do have FOMO because 325 was great, all the way up to 329. 325 long was great early. The reason why we wanted Meta on the sticky note, well, why it's on the sticky note, is because of momentum. And Meta's been absolutely insane the last couple days. I mean, we were trading down here at 3 bills. Like, this is 300 resistance. Boom, to the upside, 10% since Friday, straight to the upside. So at some point it was obviously going to get exhausted, but we've done really well today with Meta. So we went long here at 325, able to get it out 326, good trade. Fell back in, upside out, right? Fell back in, got taken out. Then we went short. And this was actually 75 cents worth of a hit there on Meta back up to the upside. That sucked. But then we were like, we should not just get out for a certain piece of, like, I mean, we always consider ourselves risk managers, and we talked about that yesterday with Brian. And it's just like, ahead of VWAP, just short it and then pay off downside. So we were shorting this 326 when VWAP was up here at 25s. So we started taking 50 cents, 70 cents, so it really started to work. Then we pulled our offer, put it higher, waiting for the Fed minutes. Well, Fed minutes came, spiked it up, and then right now we're taking again 75 cents. Like these fills back here, first of all, we'll take fills at the 200, so that's only 30 cents. Then we'll take fills at VWAP, or at the 21, then at the 50. So we're out of actually, darn it, we're out of 2/3 of this trade now as we just continue to kind of just trade our plan. You know, you heard Sharif mention levels. Well, this has come back in. I would love for it to break back down below 325, but for right now, Meta's holding higher. Obviously, it's up 1.25% now. It's much more aggressive than the market. But if the market falls, guess what? Hopefully, this will tumble pretty nicely back into 325, and then we can start cashing it out right there. So Meta, again, man, nice stock today. It's traded well. Feel bad about missing it early. But like I said, you know, if you're trading proper sizing when levels come into play, then you need 1 or 2 good trades. So let's see if this can work out for Meta. We're already out of 1/3 of it. I'm going short on this name. Just feel like it wants to exhaust down to the downside. And then when you're looking at the futures, you know, this is the IB low. So we're just kind of bouncing around it right now. That 15,310, we're still underneath VWAP. We can definitely make a run to the 50 period. And if we do that, then I think we can laugh all the way to the bank with this one. But we'll see. Our outs are only $1, right? So if we can get down here, we'll take it. My first position out right now is 325 flat. So down into here, we'll see if we can, whoopsies, we'll see if we can get that and go from there. So yeah, man, nice stock today. Let's just see if it continues.
Yeah, Meta come all the way full circle. If you look at for the second time, right? This is the second time we've gotten back to this level. If you go back to July, this is a 326-ish top. It's a couple of wicks, so couple of pennies off here or there, but 326 essentially that top. And then you go back to when this entire mess started, and this was 326 all the way down to that 100. So it's come full circle. Now it's looking for a double top break. It feels as if this is a bit of resistance on it today. I was initially short into a breakout long. It didn't really work, and then we allowed it. I let it settle back down. We talked about this lunch money. If it held at 325, and it's been 325 into VWAP 26. I did stop out when it came back underneath 25. So I've had that long once. I didn't take it going into the Fed minutes. I kind of wanted something a little bit less volatile. That's why I'm sitting in Intel. But it's still showing you this 25 to 26 notion. So that monster level on the weekly is currently your lower high resistance on Meta. So I had a little bit of trouble getting through that. It makes sense. It's a really big level when you pull up that daily or weekly chart. So you do want to respect the juggernaut that this is at that 326. But just keep in mind, if we break out from here, if we're clearing like today's high is 329, if we clear that tomorrow, there's nothing standing in the way of this until checks weekly chart, $353. So if we break this 329 tomorrow or, I don't know, whenever, 353 essentially, give or take $1, is the next level up on that weekly chart. Just today, it's having trouble getting through.
All right, we are coming off here a little bit with this RVMD. There was actually a J&J FDA clearance that just went through. I was seeing if they had anything to do with that, but RVMD back to the downside here after that huge pop. Yeah, we were talking plug. Speaking of coming back to the downside, absolutely gives it all back, right back to 750 this morning. There was talk of them set to receive this multi-year $7 billion contract from the government. They then came out and said they expect to generate $6 billion in revenue by 2027 and $20 billion by 2030. This is a $4 billion market cap company.
Yeah, wow, that's saying something right there. And they're also partnering with this Australian company called Fortescue, taking a position in their hydrolyzer plant to make about 50 megawatts of energy in West Texas, and there's also one in Australia as well. Like you said, they're looking here to make about $20 billion in revenue by 2030. This year, though, they're talking about $1.2 billion, so far below their market cap at the moment.
All right, rundown brought to you by Trade Ideas. As always, see what's moving in the moment. You can check out their brand new web app version as well. See all the top movers. You can drag down the red S&P 500, see the decliners. Yeah, travel's still getting hit here a little bit today. NCLH downside in a pretty big way. Web app version available right now. You get charts included, obviously delayed data unless you sign up for an account. Trader TV 20 will get you 20% off that. Go do it right now, guys.
Yes, sir. So I'm going to quickly show you.
Immediately.
I'm not in plug power. Maybe there is a trade. We'll get there in a second. But one dip buy, didn't have the break early. It was very early, like before 8 o'clock when this broke out. It tried to get that $8 level. It couldn't do so after the open for an $8 break. So went for the dip buy here off of this level, which was, I like places where it ran away from the price if it's going to go the other direction. So no bounce, stopped out, whatever that local support, which is right under that 750 level. So I saw that as a bit of a potential gap fill to the downside. So it was long 63 with a stop out at 50 and then just walked away from plug. And this other thing just happened. That's Apple.
Do this.
Apple just took out 179, so we had the short. This is what keeps coming back. Had the short in front of 79, was able to get one out. Then it just broke out that 179 to the upside. So this is now looking in the strong bucket with a chance to take out this top 180, big resistance on Apple. But this now looks like a long off the 179 area on Apple.
All right, guys, let's go, man. Trade coming in right now. We have Google for the long. We just busted it out. It took down 140. Oh, we got, just FYI, Meta, see ya. There's that out at 50. It's all the way up to 327 right now, continuing to go. So, again, fine. You know, this is what scalping life is all about. But let's see if we can go right now and do big time trading now. If we can get Google to continue to make a march higher, this will be what we're all about right now. Google taking out 140 again. I like this play back into 140, the 200. The VWAP is right here. Everything is right here. So let's go. It's all timed out, ready to go right here. We're 15 cents of the money. We just put this on. Let's see if Google wants to continue to the upside. I could maybe take, I mean, look at Meta. Again, Obi said something yesterday that I think I need to really do better, and we did it today with AMD, right? And that was the classic Katina change-up. Shout out to Super SPAC Man right there. And that is that, you know, when you let's go Google, nice move, man. Just got a 20 on that one, a 20 piece. But there it is right there. Went long, then hit the short again. And as you could see, we did get stopped out, and we should have reloaded at that level there as AMD went all the way down, what? To 107? Like, yeah, stop shorting Meta. I think I found something that me likey a little bit better. AMD right there. Look, we've traded 10 symbols. We're 8 and 2 today. AMD should have been a little more aggressive on that one. So okay, we'll leave that for now. There's the out on Google. We just went into the 60s there. So there's two fills here. We took 2 fills, so it's a decent sized position. We'll take some more out as we continue to go up. We just took out 25%. Again, I was talking with some guys in the back there, and it was like, it's a pretty choppy market today, right? I mean, even though we're back here, if this is the open, guess what? It's at the open right now. So it's like up, down, down, and then just returning to sort of, if you bought the futures, closed your eyes and came back right now, you maybe wouldn't know where you were, but you're still at the same levels. So we didn't even get down to 15,200. We got down to 15,250, and we didn't even get up to 15,400. So again, pretty choppy in here. Obviously, when you started having higher lows right there, like, or lower highs, boom, 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 boom. And then once we overtook that level, that would have been the long, because that's when you sort of stopped, you know, that trend. So that would have been a good little level right there to bust through the longs. We took Google, we're in it. If it fades back, we have a plan of action. And this is why I go back to some of the guests that we've had on the show just to justify what we're talking about. Brian Shannon yesterday, I asked him, I said, do you ever get in positions without stops? Absolutely not. He reiterated the fact that what we talk about on this show is becoming a risk manager first. And I said, oh my God, that's what we talk about. And he goes, I know, that's sort of not where he got it from, but he knew that that's what we preach. So I just feel like you got to have your outs, you got to have your stops, and then you even got to have a plan of action for a trade before it happens. You know, so like right now I'm bidding down here near 140.20 to get longer on Google, because I believe in this sort of consolidation down here at near 140. If we drop below 85 here, then we can get out for sure. But let's average back in. The market started to go there. Maybe, I mean, the market's huge. Can we not be up 1% today? Can we not get back to sort of the highs where we were to at least test it? If we do that, then I'm certain that Google will pay. So we can just sit here and sort of wait for that to come through. If it doesn't, it doesn't. We just missed, by the way. It's stupid me. I was at 41.90 on Berkshire, just ahead of that level.
You just say Berkshire?
Berkshire, yeah.
A little.
On Berkshire.
It's just a.
I got away. Oh, yeah.
Little bit lower quality.
Randy, coffee would be great, but also, we talked about this, your family is loaded up on Birkenstocks, as is mine. So how are those fries, by the way? They weren't spicy ones. I like them. Sometimes they come with the spicy fries.
Yeah, they're okay.
Great haircut.
Cold, though? It's got to be cold.
Me and Randy share the same barber.
Everybody.
Pretty easy cuts around here.
You could just do it yourself, man.
Don't worry about doing it yourself, Neil.
I'm just saying. No, I'm good. Thank you. I appreciate it, though.
Captain Rivian is now out of the building.
No, Randy was asking about Boeing today. It was
asking about Boeing for a minute.
And Rivian too. He comes
and
by.
XOM, remember? He had XOM on the mind. So we got to tell him
Boeing,
about
Rivian.
PXD today.
Yeah.
Yeah, Randy got that fresh cut. I was walking around outside talking with the wife, and over pops Randy, and I'm like, sick cut, bro. Sick cut. Because we go, we have our guy over there, Halim, right here at Ralph's Barbershop on Bay Street. So anybody wants to go there, say my name, and you get a 20% discount.
That's not bad.
I don't know if that's true or not.
Okay, maybe I'll
But
go to
you
Halim.
just tell Halim that and see what he says, and then I'll probably charge me 20%.
I don't go to Halim, but maybe I'll go to Halim
the
now.
next time. Hey, for you, man, maybe free meal.
Well,
I mean, you know, you just gotta just tell him you're Trader TV Live.
In fairness, I'm just ridiculously loyal to my barber. Like I've been going to the same guy since I came back from university, and like the guy is I just respected the hustle, man. I was going to like one of those branded places.
Yes.
And I'm sitting there, I'm getting my cut. All of a sudden, this guy slips me a business card. He's like, yeah, and he whispers in my ear, I'm opening up my own shop. Because I used to always get my cut by the same guy. And he's like, I'm opening up my own shop. I hope you can come by and start going. And like I went, I'm like, it was crisp, it was nice. I'm like, I respect the hustle. I'm like, yeah, hell to the yes, I'll be loyal to you. And the guy, he's hilarious, he's great. He loves trading. He's way too into crypto, though that's part of the problem. But he likes Tesla. He's a Tesla guy. He's like, what should I do about automated driving? I'm like, buy Tesla. But is there anything else? I'm like, yes, but just buy Tesla. But anyways, he's a great dude. You got to stay loyal. When you find a good barber, that's what it's all about. One thing I want to get to just very, very quickly here. I'm back into Apple, but it's in the other direction. And I'm in Intel off of the low. So Intel, this is 3640. It closed at 3640. It bounced off 3640. It got to VWAP. Took some profit out there. But I'm going to play the range on this. If it's going to be 3640, 3660, we're going to rinse and repeat that. But I'm looking for the dip buy on Apple into here. This will be hard to see because of this stupid wick. But it's like 178.75. Maybe a bit early in front of 179 here, but if we're going to pull back in and we're going to hold above 15.3, then I want the higher lows. And if Apple's going to go, I think you can get to 180. The other thing that went is Tesla. Tesla just broke that 263 to the upside. Load. There we go. Broke that 263. Maybe this can turn into support again off of that level. So if it can hold on this dip,
Thank you, my friend.
then Tesla's off to the races once again.
I just told everybody, Randy, that if they mention our names at Ralph's Barbershop, they get 20% off.
The irony being that it's Ralph, but you guys get Halim.
Halim, yeah. Halim is the
Which threw me because
there.
I was
there is an 80-year-old Italian guy.
no,
His
I know
name
there is.
Ralph.
Yeah, there is a Ralph there, but I'm like, how come none of you guys actually get your hair cut by Ralph?
Yeah.
Which is interesting because everybody on the floor that goes they're really close to the floor. It's like a 5-minute walk, maybe even less. But everyone gets their hair cut by Halim and not Ralph.
Right? Yeah. Are there other people behind us that go there?
Well, okay, most of the guys are gone now.
Oh, okay. I got it. Yeah, no.
Greg used to go there.
Oh, that's right.
Greg's gone
Mark
now.
goes.
Mark also goes.
Yeah, Wilson.
Yeah, it's a short walk. That's all I'm saying.
No, I said Wilson because of the home improvement.
Oh, Mark.
You called him up he's always on the ladder.
But he's not right now.
Mark?
The thing is, you guys have never seen Mark's face. That's why. Like, you see Randy, you've seen Rob.
I think they may have. Before we
Fabian
used to
and
sit there
Ramin.
at the end, remember we used to say thank you to the production team and stuff?
But you'd see, like, his shirt and maybe something else.
I just broke this. Okay.
Yeah, that's about it. So Tesla looks pretty strong. There's something else we want to talk about, but I guess we're done the rundown. We don't have to worry about that.
Are they nominating? So Steve Scalise, I guess. We'll talk politics because it's just a fact.
Yeah,
we don't have to give our opinion. Apparently, Steve Scalise is going to be the new speaker. I'm just hearing it right now. Vote at 3. They don't anticipate any issues with that. So I don't know if that does anything to the stock market. I would say no. So if someone knows something about a change in the Speaker of the House, especially if it's the same party, it's Republican to Republican, right? So I don't know if that's going to change anything, but
well, I don't
just
know
letting
if
everybody know.
It's always the chance that it could, in theory, make it more or less likely.
The vote is in 20 minutes.
The shutdown stuff. So, like, you guys tell us.
Maybe. But they caught a resolution, didn't they?
These guys someone just called you guys out, by the way. It's Yawns in the chat. Y'all pay peeps to shave those heads?
Yeah.
So for the record, not me. These guys do. Like, when I'm getting a fade, I'll get a fade with a barber. But it's when I'm getting a fade. If I'm shaving, Randy shaves it bald. If I'm shaving it bald, I'm shaving it bald myself because I'm way too cheap to pay someone.
Randy's not shaving it bald.
Oh, he doesn't do anything special. He just does one number the whole way. Like, you could do that yourself.
Yeah. You could do anything yourself.
I'm not doing a fade by myself.
No, nor am I.
I'll mess it up.
Okay, so people want Randy to talk about cars. Okay, we can get
back.
that. Probably not today, but we can prep Randy at some point to do that.
In front of Tesla earnings, we can do that.
Right, we have Tesla earnings. He wants to talk about Rivian. Rivian's coming November 7th. So 3 weeks till Rivian earnings coming through. I think that would be a great idea. So we'll see if that does come through. And yeah,
Speaking of Rivian,
Randy is pretty sweet.
Everybody loves Randy. That's one of those, everybody loves Randy. I mean, everyone loves everyone around here, but Randy's just, he's that dude. And people always ask, what does he do around here? A little bit of everything. And winning, that's what he does. He's living life. Rivian is moving right now, and it bounced off 19 bucks, so it might be worth watching here. I'm not just bringing it up because of Randy, but hey, this just went bottom top 50 pennies, which is a good move on Rivian. It closed at 64, so it's trying to go green. A consolidation here and a breakout go green isn't that bad of a look for Rivian, and still some questions about this Tapestry. I did not trade this Tempest. I want to call it Tapestry for some reason. It's Tempest Therapeutics. So I haven't touched it. I'm not going to count you guys can count the halts yourself if you want to.
I love the K.
It's up 2.36.
It's up Ks? What exactly is that?
Over 2,000%. Another halt, 591 with a tap of theoretical auction price of 635. Like, it's just fun. It's just fun right now if you're in it. I'm not touching this with a 10-foot pole. I'm not chasing the move. I've paid for locates, and I have not used them. That's how I feel about this stock. It can't stay open. If you do zoom back on the daily chart, I'm talking like way back. We're going to take it back, way back into time. When this stock, there's no real good levels here because once you broke 450, I don't know, like maybe like $10? $10 looks like a really good level on, what is this thing called again? Tempest? I'm going to say the wrong, Tapestry. So $10. That's the one place where it might make sense to take a shot at it. I thought it would be the $4 level, and then it completely rejected the down halt off for it. So it halted here, tried to reopen, and then hold underneath and take the other halt price down, but it never made that move. It just instantly halted up, so there was no real short entry there. And I'm not doing anything till it gets to 10 bucks. So congratulations to anyone that's long. Miss Rachel Charles, you're right. That is Blackstreet. Blackstreet is actually my favorite all-time group. And the last concert I went to was a Blackstreet concert. For anyone that cares, which is probably nobody, and Burke is back at 40.50. Not Berkshire, Birkenstock.
This whole day I thought I was trading Berkshire over here.
Nice discount.
Where's Warren? Do we have that Warren thing? I got to talk to him. Why did he change his symbol?
What? It's.
Yeah, that's a better one. That's a better.
Didn't you have this one all last week?
No, I don't have it in here. I have Powell. Oh no, I have Warren.
I swear.
What was
I've seen you hit the button.
Yeah, there was one I asked.
No, it's
There's another one that I don't have. I have them all now. Maybe that's what it was.
You know who we should have?
We just got reloaded on Birkenstock.
Birkenstock.
It's going to take me a minute to call up Birkenstock. So we have our stop, same level, 40 bucks. So if it breaks 40 bucks, we'll just be like, okay, and get out. So we've already paid for shorts. I think that could be a really tasty short on a 40.
Yeah, you're talking about 40.
Yeah, on a 40 break. Yeah, not 40.50. We've done that before. But there it is. Look at that, man. Reloaded up. Just went 20 cents in the money. We'll see if it continues to hold or not as Birkenstock starts to go. Look at this, man. You want to talk about something else? Let's go a little bit of hot dog gun action right now as there goes Google. Nice move to the upside here. We'll see if we get some 52s. Look at that, man. We did do this as well. We reloaded it down there at 20. So there it is right there. Sorry, 25s. There it is right there for a nice little move back up to the upside. All we're doing is playing off VWAP here and support at 140. Tweeted it out. Make sure you follow me on Twitter as well. There's not going to be, and again, there isn't anybody else like this. Like I just tweeted out anyways. I know Neil tweets his positions too sometimes or often when you have ideas too, right? These levels here, like I'm just talking about playing off of it right now.
That's my chart, guys. Go to Sean, please.
Yeah.
There you go.
There we go. I'm just talking about trading it off of this right here, right now. So if you want to join me, follow me at TraderTV Sean, giving some ideas as the day goes along as well. So we're going to do that right now. Oh, one trade that we didn't get to talk about right now was this one. It was a pretty good one. Nike. Again, VWAP with support. In this case, it would be resistance. Short, boom, 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 boom. You know, like, it's great when it works out, and sometimes, you know, like I try to bring people, you know, into the community. And I said this yesterday that I was going to give very, very simple trades, and I really feel like that's exactly what we've done here. Like shorting in front of here, you know, this short is 49s. That stop is 60. That's 11 cents. So when you're making down here 30 cents, you know, it is what it is, but that's what you got to look for. Simple kind of trades. I don't trade Nike too often, so, you know, all you're really putting into your pocket is just a little bit of cash here. You know, if you can make that happen, great. Look, we almost should have, I didn't even notice it. You know, we have 5% left. So it came into 98. That was, we were waiting for this to break. We took a big piece out right there at 15s. That was the low of the day at that, I think it was anyways, let me see. I believe, yeah, so that was the low of the day at that time, right there. So that's why we took out the majority right ahead of 98. It obviously goes to 98. It would have been pretty sweet to have a tick there, but we don't. So that's Nike in a nutshell right there as Nike tries to get back over $100. What a great story this name has been. You know, like Square off the bottom is 20%. Nike off the bottom, this is earnings bottom as well. Like that's 90, let's just say. Obviously you could have got it at 87, but forget about it. That's 90 all the way to 98. So that's 10 points right there as well on Nike off earnings. So good little trade right there if you got it. Google continues, man. There it is. We'll just go.
Oh my God.
I mean, it's nothing to write home about, but for right now, it's 20 cents. We'll see if it continues to go to the upside. My next offer on this is 65, and then no more until 141 flat. So let's see. Maybe I'll put something here at 90, but that's the move that we're waiting for here off of VWAP. So we need to get that back in.
So quickly, I see Adham in the chat. Is it Adham asking, was Adam or someone else asking about Apple? Let me just double check. Because the question like about Apple and should you get out in front of CPI. We're not here to give financial advice. We're here to trade and basically just talk about what we see. So you should never get into a position if you don't have an idea what wrong means to you and where you want to get out. So if you were like just, I don't know if you're a long-term, I'm assuming, let's just assume you're a swing trading Apple. Like it's at a 180 or close to a 180 resistance level. It just regained the 50 period. Like a swing long, assuming if it was off like these bottoms, trimming something out, if you don't like the risk of an economic number or earnings on a swing play that was technical, then banking profit isn't a bad idea. Like if I was long 170 with a stop down here saying, yeah, I'm giving it to the 200 period moving average. Well, it's doing the up down off the 50 period and resistance is at 180. That makes sense. Like your move is 170 to 180. It's trying to hold that out now. I don't see a logical reason why making a decision at a key decision-making point like a 180, you wouldn't do that. But really, you should know what you're doing with that trade before you get into it. Like if I would never buy a dip swinging a stock in front of like the 200 period or something like that without knowing what I was going to do when it got to the 180 level. And if I had to carry it into a big economic release or into earnings, I'd have a plan for that as well. So, you know, it is a good technical level. Maybe it turns into support, but it's kind of guesswork off of CPI. PPI, I mean, has that mattered today? I'd like to think not, because the market's having an inside day. But speaking of things that are not having inside, well, okay, actually that was bad. I was about to say, speaking of things that aren't having an inside day, BIRK is moving again, but technically speaking,
Berkshire?
No matter what this does, it's an inside day unless it stops us out. So it is still having an inside day, but it just bounced again off 450, 40.50, VWAP up here above 41. It's giving you nice little bounces, but it's not really running away from it, and the volume's also tapering it off. So it is a good one. And Adham, appreciate it. You're trying to get some likes on the stream. We appreciate you. And in honor of that, because you're trying to pump the likes, then I don't mind doing what we try to do around here anytime we ask for likes and subscribes, which is to honor everybody with our favorite graphic of all time.
Like, subscribe, and share the show that takes you into the heart of the market every day.
The professor himself.
Yeah, so that's twice. So it has to be at least one more time in order for us to hit his contractual obligation that he put in the contract. So, all right, let's keep going. So same kind of story for me on. That's gonna.
Berkshire.
I can't just say Berkshire. Now it's. Before I was saying it like I was really saying it.
That wasn't me.
Dude, I'm hosting a show. You know, unless it's my wife, Nepa, you know, or the government. Or anything. Okay, so just quickly there, we got out there at 85 again. So, not again. This is the first time. I was waiting for this. It stopped a little bit there. I saw the net starting to climb. I mean, now the net's really climbing with our boy right here, Google coming in. But we just wanted to make sure that we took another piece out right there. Birkenstocks. I'm just going to say Birkin because honestly, it's too many syllables as it goes. So we'll wait to see. We have another piece out here right near 41. And then, like I said, the idea for me is to hold this for the moon. Let's see if we get to that. You know, and to me, the moon would be somewhere like 42. If we were to hit that, great. We should also have some outs here around 41.50. So right now, this is where I'm sitting. $40.90, 41.20, 41.95. Okay, so we'll get out some here. I guess I could put something again. I want to be able to hold this. You know, we saw ARM make huge aggressive moves during its IPO near the end of the day. I mean, here's this. Like, you want to talk about, you know, me being very, very specific with what exactly I'm trying to do. And remember, we said this, man, one good trade. We hadn't traded Google before this. So we add this into the wheelbarrow right now and then just go with it. You know, so this is it, man. Nice pullback in, just took another piece out. You know, we're wrapping this up in a nice small package here and delivering on Google moves. So there it is. Let's see if the momentum can carry it through 141. The high of the day on this name is 141. 141.10. We'll take something out if it gets up here 85. I don't have any offers there, so I better put one. That's it. Pretty simple stuff, man. Good trading there. I don't really have too many ideas. Oh, TPST continues to move right now. Just heard halted again.
This is ridiculous. It's at
$7
freaking dollars. So I wasn't like whatever. Like I was half joking when I said 10, but it's actually not that ridiculous.
Can I?
Now it's not that funny. Like I paid nothing for locates this morning because it was at $1 when I paid for them. So if it gets to $10, like there might be a trade up there, but there's not much to do except wait for this to calm down. And if you are long this, just understand that as fast as it's going to the upside, all it takes is a couple of halts down, and you could be all the way back at like $4 or underneath $5 to be sure. VWAP's at 240 now. Like that's complete and utter insanity. It's insane. Like I don't know what, like that's the only thing I can tell you. This is completely and utterly insane, which is fine. But I will not be buying these tops. And I always say you can't go broke taking profit, right? Like no one ever went broke taking a profit, at least the last time I checked. But the tap is actually, it halted at 98. It's open. It's tapping at 699. So it's not indicating higher or lower right now. It's ridiculous. The question about ZOM in the chat there, Alex.
ZOM?
I'm out of XOM. Now you guys have me saying ZOM, which is hilarious. And it did bounce again off 105, but it broke 105 first. It's been a 105 to 106 play. I got a bad wick here, but essentially 106 is VWAP, and then 105 is this double bottom, but they got these really, really bad wicks. And on top of that, 105 double bottom on the daily, or you pull up the 15-minute, that's this double bottom here. So I think you got like a dollar scalp zone on this name, which you can take advantage of. So it's been a good one, XOM. I was kind of one and done off the 105, but this looks pretty solid, 105 to 106, still pretty good. Now, Apple still hanging out 179. It's not really moving. The market's holding up pretty nicely. So you are still well above 15.3, holding in the green. So I do like that Apple. Birkin stock.
Yes, sir.
Could be a reload off that 40-50 level again. Looks like it's turning off 41. I'll take it one more. I mean, I guess as long as it holds, it's probably fine.
I know how.
Eventually, it needs to do something off this level a little bit more.
I'm going to call it Birkenshire. That way I don't have any.
That's less confusing?
No, it's just more like, okay, more stupid.
I feel like that's more confusing.
Probably is, yeah. So we're just going to watch out for that. All right, what else is moving around? Is Plug moving around? So, you know, we talked about this earlier where we made the nice play there in the pre-market, and it's because we disrespected VWAP at that time. It was doing, I think, 6 or 7 million shares maybe. Could have been 3 or 4, but either way, it was looking like a stock. Like if you take away the time they're at the bottom, this is looking pretty clean with nice clean moves, despite these are dark pool dumps at 8 o'clock, so I'm sort of neglecting those. But again, nice move to the upside there, clearing 812. That's why when we wrote down on the sticky note today, oh my God, Randy's over there. I just heard Randy talk about Ford. He's on the big desk right now. Throw up that look if you have it there, Fabian, with Randy there at the desk doing that work. Hey, Randy, how's it going, my guy? There he is right there. What's up? Yeah, we wrote down on here I don't even remember what's on my plug. Oh yeah, taking $8 long, and that was, of course, off of this move right there. It still could happen, still could get going, but again, you know, those government grants have already been announced. They're already sort of $7 billion worth. We know plug hydrogen and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, we'll see. I still think the Tesla supercharger story is really the one that everyone's going to be following. There's been what I think 9 different automotive makers have set up availability for charging stations to work on their EVs. So I like that. And apparently Elon Musk just said supercharging is free in Israel or something like that. So I don't think that's not going to affect Tesla. But it just makes me think about all the potential that there is, not only with Starlink, but you know, with the ability that you can, when you control the company, and there's a lot of people that own, you know, these kind of cars, and you're relying on certain things, you can really change the way you operate things. And I was thinking about Ukraine now with Starlink. He deployed more satellites over there to get better internet reception and things like that. There's just so many things in the tech space right now that we talked about this 25 years ago. These things didn't exist. Gmail, YouTube, Tesla, it goes Meta, just goes on, WhatsApp. Like so many things that we've used in our daily life didn't even exist 25 years ago, right? So what's going to happen moving forward? That's why I know Tesla's a completely different stock, but if we're all going to move into FSD, then you know you have Waymo and you have Tesla. So if those are going to be big things, that's why I look at Uber, I look at Tesla, and I look at Google. There's reasons why I want to buy Tesla on dips and why Google's the #1 holding in my long-term portfolio.
Absolute disrespect for Mobileye.
For which? And Mobileye too. I mean, there's lots of different names.
No, I'll be the first person to tell people it's Tesla.
I mean, what is Mobileye?
It's Tesla, a little bit of Alphabet, and I think Mobileye is in the space. It hasn't been a bad IPO. I own the stock. I just waited for it to pull back. I'm cheap, so I was kind of waiting for it to really flush. So I didn't buy it until after this 35 break. And when that happened, I was like, this is where I'll buy like right here. So I'm long at 35.90 something. I don't know. It's close to 36. Yeah. It's still a good support price, but I was unwilling. And the funny thing about it was all those crappy IPOs in 2022. Like the IPO market was so bloody bad that the one stock I actually wanted this one long, and I just didn't buy it at the IPO. I'm like, yeah, this isn't going to be any good. I'll just buy it when it's $15, and then it went straight up. So it just goes to show, like, if you like something and you plan on holding it for a long time, buy a little, goes down, buy a little bit more, dollar cost average into it. I got cheeky, and sometimes you get cheeky and you get absolutely burned. But going back over to, for the love of Birkenstock. See, this is ridiculous now. Like, I can't even say the right name of the company. So I've reloaded again. It bounced once, twice, 3. This is the 4th time it's coming down to this 40.5. I have a much tighter stop. Like, I kind of just give it to the local bottom. If it breaks that, I'm going to get out. It's like a descending wedge, or I don't know, whatever I think that's a descending wedge. You can ask Sharif. It doesn't really matter what it's called. It's lower highs into the same support level. Descending wedge, whatever you want to call it, doesn't really matter. Lower highs going into a support level, not necessarily a good thing. I think it's a good reload until it's not, and once it's not, I get out of it. I am still in this Intel trade. It's broken VWAP now, so I've canceled my reload because I don't think I'm going to get it. Now you're above VWAP. The only place I want to buy this that isn't the bottom would be if it starts holding VWAP, but I'm not there just yet. I think I like Apple. Tesla's trying to get and break VWAP itself, but it just can't seem to make that next push to get it over the hump.
Yeah, we are right now looking at Plug Power because I feel like if we break VWAP right here at 56, that's going to be a price that, you know, could spark this thing. The thing about a 56 spark on Plug would be, you know, spark plug, would be you have an out if you break below 750. Like you know, so I think like 6 or 7 cents worth of risk here. At least, you know, I feel like, you know, if it's going to go, we just talked about it, trade something that has an opportunity. This has an opportunity, right? So we'll wait on this. I don't know if you want to wait. It's not even that big of a, I mean, how much worse could this really get? Like, even if you buy 56, which I'm going to in a couple seconds, you have 730 as the bottom. I don't even if you wanted to wait for the bottom of the day, you know, I don't know what would be the reason for this name to tank. So let's take the VWAP break. So it looks like we're going to get into that very, very soon. TPST, I just heard, is now open again. And one guess, open for 10 seconds. The thing that, like, honestly,
This is stupid.
when is the SEC or whoever is going to be involved with this finally going to decide that a stock need not be able to do this over and over and over again and either change some of the rules or figure out that if a stock has a certain share float, then maybe it has different rules. I don't know if it doesn't have to be about price, maybe just float. Because like if Sirius Satellite Radio,
Float's the problem.
right?
Float
Because
is the problem.
like look at this. So here we go. So
But this one's 7 million. I've seen worse.
yeah,
but
no, it's
still-
way worse. But remember we saw Siri that one day start to go?
Oh, goodness.
Well, I mean, this is a 28% short float. So is it a candidate? Yes, it is. But the float here on Siri is 600 million shares. You know, so this seems to be, even though the price is only $5, it's going to be harder for this name because there's just going to be so much interest to open all. Like there's a lot of shareholders here. You don't have to worry about TPST's problem, which is not a problem for them. It's a problem for us and for anyone that's short.
Well, it's not just who's short. It's like, well, who do you think
They
gets,
report November 8th, by
who
the
gets
way.
trapped buying tops on TPST?
Yeah, this is all retail.
It's not institutions. Like, who are you supposed to be protecting out there? Like, it's just, like, sometimes these moves are a little bit nuts. It's great when people have the longs from early, but let's be real about who's actually getting trapped on TPST at some of these highs. It would just be nice. It's not, this one isn't as bad because it's a penny stock that had news, but when it's, when something comes to market with a float of under 1 million shares and does the whole HKD type move, that's a little ridiculous. And I'm like, you let that come to market, you know what it is, and then you kind of let that nonsense happen. I have an approach on Birkenstock, which is now just getting hilarious because it is consistently running the stop. So it's like get in, scalp out, reload. If it runs the stop, get out. I don't want to hold this to 40 because I'm not really holding it past 41. So if I'm long 40.50, if I'm not really holding it past 41 to get over that 50 cents, then I shouldn't really be holding in 50 cents against me. So the scalp trade is to get in, get out, and it just continuously is holding this low. If 40 were to break, like the longer this goes on, the more juicy potentially a 40 breakdown would get. You don't have to worry about SSR. My understanding is you have to have a previous day's close to be short sell restricted, so this is not short sell restricted. If 40 breaks, you can hit that bid. If it happens, as I said, Apple not really doing much, still monitoring some Tesla here, but I'm out of Burke. Every time it breaks underneath that previous low, I just kind of get out of it. Might be worth a reload, but I kind of feel like it's almost done. With only 1 hour left in the day, I almost want to see it start to make a real move and the volume pick back up, because as you can see, like volume really dying down here. That needs to pick up the next time it runs. Like the only volume spikes are when it runs some stops underneath, which isn't bad, but I want to see some more buying. We saw what happened on ARM, and it was at 3 o'clock, I want to say that it happened on the first day. Like it was at the lows, and then all of a sudden, right around 3 o'clock, ARM just caught this, I don't know what you want to call it. It was like a program buy, and it just went haywire. So if that happens, I want to be ready on Berkshire.
Oh, man, now you're stealing it, dude.
Oh, for the love of God. I can't even say it right because you've said all
You
these.
just literally said Berkshire.
That's your fault, though.
I know it's my fault. That's what I'm saying. That was not
intentional.
I know, you just said it
I swear that was
naturally.
not intentional.
You just said it naturally.
Birkenstock.
We have too much fun around here. Okay, so plug did not go. It's 3 o'clock now, so let's get some names rolling here. I mean, what else do we want to talk about here? I'm going to go through some scanners right now to see if there's anything popping. It's talking about Oracle being at some resistance right now. You could see some Oracle now. I like this name. I recently bought some at. I still got to go back and find the price of Oracle, but we definitely liked it off the 200 period down here at $100. Definitely dipped down in. This is, again, a legacy name. We've seen IBM run a little bit here. Oracle not doing well here, but has had a good run to the top. I like this name. And it's just indicating right now because of the scans that I have set up, and it's coming back to past resistance. So right here, 109.65 could be a decent short, and it's just pulled back into VWAP. For me, I'd rather favor longs right now just because of where we are in this market. Above VWAP, above the 50 period. We talked about favoring shorts down here. Remember when we were in Meta, we were short down here, right? And then Meta blew up, as did the market. And I was like, maybe the market gets back to VWAP there. So we did take advantage of that move, right? We put another green name in our pocket here with Google and got these out. Look where Google's flying right back into now, downside. So is this a reload spot? Where's my stop on Google? Yeah, we were getting stopped out right into here. Remember if we broke through 85s? Actually, it's right there. So I'm still here for that. So my bid, although the market is, remember, like I'm letting my biases hit a little bit here because, and I was talking with Mateo in the back, and it was just like, I came in here when I was driving in on Monday, you know, with all the disaster and all that, such negative feelings about, you know, basically about humanity, to be honest with you. You know, I was like, do I just liquidate everything on Monday?
It's easy to get bearish when you feel like that.
Right, and it's like, and then we come in on Monday, and the market just like, I mean, this is the NASDAQ.
Just rip face.
Yeah, just like ripping, like boom, boom, like there's that bottom from Friday. See you later. You know, here's Monday. See you later. Here's yesterday. See ya. So today, it's like we've already made that bottom. So I'm thinking upside. But in the back of my mind, I'm still thinking this market's overbought right now. And we go from oversold to overbought real quick, you know? And you're back into these levels again. So if you ever had a reason to sell, it would be now. But the market just continues to sort of show resilience and continue to move to the upside. So I'm a little bit hesitant to put on anything until we get into some real big levels. So Google, we just bought a little bit more right there at 24. I still want to put something on if we get back in here near $40.15, which is VWAP. So if we could put that on, then we'll see what happens here at 140, and then we're going to hold it back into here. If it's an L, it's an L. But I think these are longs that I want to put on, and we're gonna, you know, try to show our colors.
It's kind of, this is weird because like
moving down a little bit.
Cowery in the chat just said Sean is a perma bear.
What?
What's jokes is if you guys watched this when we came to YouTube, I was the one that got that for the first year, which is hilarious because I've never shorted a stock in my personal account ever. Like
Nor have
once.
I mean, I've had puts.
The most aggressive move I'll buy covered calls if I'm feeling frisky. Like that's about it. Like I've never short even things I thought were overdone. Like I remember I got out of Silvergate like $100 before the top and left a lot on the table, but I had no inkling to short it because it's just not how I roll. It's just like look. When you see us, we're talking about where the market is right now and where we see like a direction. It doesn't mean that we think the market's going down in the long run. It's just sometimes you're at levels that are shorts. And sometimes the market, the best trading opportunity when you look at it is a short trade. It doesn't have to work, but that's just how it is sometimes in the market. I don't want to ignore this MTNB because I'm going to get yelled at in the chat. Neil, you're missing MTNB. You're right, I am. This is actually, it's done 250 million shares at 50 cents, underneath 50 cents, which is really good. And 45 is a big level on the daily that it's trying to break out from. So it's making that break right now. You guys know my attitude toward these. When a big level breaks, I'd rather play the consolidation off of that level. So unless you're already long at like 30 or at 40, like what I would look at, and this is the daily chart. Let me actually show you the level I'm talking about. So it just broke this 45. Now I want to see how it reacts 45 to 50. If there's a consolidation in there, then I would try to grab a long on that dip. 50 break, not going to play a little bit late in the day for that, but the market now going continuously higher. I just want to acknowledge that penny stock. Yes, it's moving. Yes, it's on the radar, but I'm not buying those highs. But I will get some of the Apple out in front of the high of the day, which is in about 15 cents or so.
All right, here we go. Perma Bear makes money long. Right there, we just got 20 more pennies long side there, and I'm just kind of trolling Corey there. I assume that you're trolling as well. Because
no, everyone's just joking around.
Yeah, I was just joking around because to be a perma bull, your sticky note or perma bear should not have Boba long, Meta long, Amazon long, XOM long, plug long. So those are my ideas today coming in. If you check out Peter Schiff's sticky note, then you may have some downside levels.
You'll probably have some longs in.
You probably had some longs, yeah, gold and
gold
Bitcoin.
And
just joking.
More gold.
More gold and everything gold. We reloaded. Almost did it again. Birkenstock down there at 50. It just hit 82. My offer is at 85, so we get another bump up there. Maybe we will, or maybe we will not get that fill. Well, we will get it if it hits there. Plug power basically, look at that. Did we have the right level? Yes, we did. But did it do anything? No, it did not. 755 coming into play right there. Breaking? No. So if you like the short, you use VWAP the other way. You know, I wanted to play the momentum thinking that we could have got a little bit bigger there. Does not come through. So that's plugged. So watch out for that 755 coming in right there. I still like the break long. Let's go check out XOM again to the downside. You know, what we wrote on here was 106, 105. So if you played sort of both of those levels, you'd be long at 105.50 if you didn't sell it. And, you know, right now it's right there, right here. So, you know, nice bottom at 104.80. And I was thinking that if you wanted to buy XOM, now may not be the right time. And you might want to let sort of this PXD thing settle down. I think it's going to be, it is a done deal. And it's 253 average, or that's the price, but it's all in stock.
Yeah, so it's the equivalent.
Yeah, so PXD is going to move around based on whatever XOM is doing. But, you know, if oil can make a move down, I still think XOM wants to look at $100 there. And then when you're getting a yield of 3.3% on XOM and you can get 5 sitting in your bank, I don't, well, what is Apple's bank giving, 4.5 or something right now? You can get that just by doing nothing. And if you have a little bit of availability, then you could start buying bonds and things like that and T-bills to
You
get
should be buying that because you think it's cheap.
Right. So if you like oil space and you want to get into it, then fine. But I would just watch out for XOM because we'll have to look at what their PE is right here. XOM.
Yeah,
do I even have PE on? Yes, I do. Okay, so let me see. I don't know what the historical PE is. I got to go back to that Y Charts website there. But right now, the current XOM PE is only 880, so 9 right there. I really wish there was a PE chart, like on. The thing is, you know what? I'm going to give that suggestion to Mr. Nas because.
I have to register for
You know,
Y Charts?
Yes, that's the problem. It only gives you an account for like 10 days. On Y
Oh,
Charts.
man.
So anyways, if anyone knows a free service
Now I
that
need another
gives the PE based on charts, you know who might know that? Obi, because Obi has all these weird things.
Oh, no, but he has TradingView Pro. Like, he pays for it.
Okay.
Again, like, you can probably find a pay service for it. It's just, I like having a free one. I keep bouncing from site
I wonder
to
if
site. to get
Benzinga
free.
has it.
Lo and behold, at Trader TV, we like things for free. Go figure. That's how I roll. I know Fabian's like, what? We like things for free, like we give away every single day, live trading. For those of you that are watching, Tempest, TPST, whatever you're calling it today, halted to the downside. So it's halted at $7.12, and the theoretical auction price, and it looks like a 10-minute halt, by the way, $6.35, which is right about here-ish to the downside. And there was a question in the chat, like, what does that mean? Like, someone was asking, what does, like, restricted mean? And they put in, like, also short restricted. In addition to sometimes the stock might not have borrows, so your broker might not be able to lend you the shares to go short, it's actually possible that they're restricting trade on the stock for risk reasons and liquidity reasons. That's something that happens occasionally on Day Trade the World, where a stock can be restricted because it doesn't do enough volume, and you don't want traders with prop accounts and big buying power throwing liquidity at it, and then you have to put a request to get it unblocked. But I'm assuming you mean at your local broker. You can always ask them questions, but we had to pay for locates on this one today. It's indicating it'll open up about 10% to the downside, which I chuckle as it's up 3,000% today. It's
10%?
It's at 710, and it's indicating opening up at
my
640.
God.
So that would be 10% down from here, which, considering it was 24 cents at the close yesterday.
Nice risk to reward.
Congratulations!
I sat and watched this thing break $1 this morning. But you know what? I had just come back. I was looking at a bunch of big cap tech and some other names and Plug and other things I thought were going to go. And I'm like, what the heck is this thing? And why should it actually be a moon runner? And I watched it fail the dollar break, get down to 80 cents, and then I flipped it to another level too. And then everyone in the chat was yelling about it, and the next thing I know, it was at $2. So it just goes to show, if it is the one that day, leave it up, give it a chance, because there was a clean break at about $1.30, $1.30, that I think I could have had. Reasonably speaking. So Apple still in the range. I just missed the dip buy in here off 179. Looks like it didn't quite get there. It got to 179.05 07 maybe, and I'm sitting there right in front of the even. So I'm trying to rinse and repeat it, but it's not even getting down there for me. And Intel, I'm still not going to do that reload just yet. 50 minutes to go, still plenty of time for the market to take out these tops, but we still have not had a local high break on the NASDAQ. We're chilling. Hold on to your butts.
Yeah, I mean, I wish we weren't chilling, man. I wish there was a little bit more happening right now, but we're 10 cents in the money on Nike. We're 10 cents in the money on Google, but we've already taken profit there of 25 cents. When it broke back above, we're waiting for something else to happen, and then Burke is doing absolutely nothing. Let's check out AMD. So again, like this could have been a decent short there at 108 again. So it's pulled back off that level. It's just testing. The thing is, we did this sort of TA yesterday, you know, and it's like, this is what's happening now. I would love to put something on. I mean, put something on for a few shares, fine, but I don't, like I said, that's not what we're trying to do, man. We're trying to wait for the best prices on something, trade levels that we see and we like. So we're gonna need to have names that have catalysts. So Netflix yesterday, right? I'm calling this up for the first time with you guys so we can all look at this together, and we'll see if we see something, okay? So I do obviously see something almost immediately, but it's just this bottom pick right here. 366, like that held pretty cleanly. What does it look like here? We're obviously creating some new levels. We saw Netflix yesterday. Well, Netflix is a recent IPO, it seems like from October 3rd right there. But we're gonna wait to see here, 366. It wicked down there. That could be something, and we're holding that level right here, right now. And remember, though, they had the negative catalyst of subscriber growth not happening for them as rapidly as they would have thought on their advertising tier, right? Not on their paid subscribers, on their advertising tier. So, this is not a horrible spot either. The low of the day is right there, 366.01s. So I would rather play a weaker name on the weak side of the trade, right? But for right now, I think if you get this down to 366, that's gonna be a good buy. I'm not gonna pay up right now 70 cents, there's 50 cents to get this trade. You can see by the spread, if you're trading 100 shares, the spread is currently pretty good, it's only 10 cents. But when it opens up, it can get a little bit more violent than that. So let's, we can wait on that, but that's a potential there if you like it. I'm trying to play counter trend names, wait until we get to the 200 period to short it. Against the market especially. So that would be a good short there at 369, possibly as a play coming through as well. Nike's now starting to drip down even a little bit more. I'm gonna wait to see if we can get back into here. But this is now 12 cents and making some money. I wish we would have had that play back at 230 right there. Shoulda, woulda, coulda had that, don't. So that could have been a play as well. Heading into bank earnings, not tomorrow, but the next day, Friday morning, you're going to have JP Morgan on the mind, right? And if you're going to look at this name, this could be another one. The 50 period is right here at 148. Again, we've talked about on the recap show. Join me and Chris Bretcher today live. And just to give you an update, he's already messaged me on what he wants to talk about. It's reversion trades. So he wants to talk all about that. I'm trying to find the email. Of course, now I cannot find it. But he wants to talk about reversion trades. He has some ideas for us on that one, on earnings plays. So maybe he had something on Pepsi. Let's talk about that. With earnings hot right now, I think that's going to be a good follow into that show. So we'll see. Okay, Nike, now you're 17 cents and starting to drip down a little bit, even more now. So maybe on this pullback in the market, we could get a nice little push here in Nike. But right here, Google, still waiting for this. So 140, I'm still here at 140.15. I'm not worried about 140. That's going to be my resistance level. And then down here is where we get stopped out, right? A break a little bit lower than 85. So hopefully this can come in right now. Hearing some news about Tesla, just about some steel manufacturing right now. Not a big mover, but look at this market trying to pull back. Will Tesla hold the 200? That's coming into play right now. But look at that. Look at that VWAP at 264 for Tesla. Man, you could trade only so many names, but that would have been a good one there as well.
Yeah, look at it resist that. I put an order in and cancel it, and put an order in and cancel it for this Berkshire.
What's it doing?
For Birkenstock at $40. For the love, you know what? This is getting ridiculous. I'll get it right by the end of the show. It's Birkenstock for that 40, but it could break that 40. But I now have a bid in on MTNB. I wanted to see it react off 50. It's dipped a couple of times off the 50 cent level. held on to 46, so I'll go for the long in front of 46 if I can grab it. Might have to pay up a little bit, but it's holding with decent volume. Birkenstock, there you are. This is what happened just recently. Like, it just took down 40, 30, got to 25, so it is gearing up to run that 40 level. It's very possible that it could break 40 and get down like a few cents and immediately reject that breakdown and then slam back up. If that happens, I'd be out of a short instantly. Like, I'm not holding a 40 short like back above through. Like, I want the short. I'm hopefully at like 99, like 90 something. Like 39.95, or that's maybe a good price. If I'm happy with that, I get it. I throw a stop immediately, probably at like 40.05, 40.10, something along those lines. Maybe even at 40 even if I see size immediately. So being very, very careful with that. I am sensing a bit of a turn in the market here. So, I mean, I might not reload Apple. I still like Apple, but if Intel can't hold on to VWAP, I'm getting out of this at 36.55. I'm going to trail this out underneath that level. So we're probably not going to reload this just yet. I feel like there's a few stronger names out there. Apple could be one. Tesla suddenly looks really weak, and Rivian was the other one that was looking like it was holding strength. Suddenly, Rivian looks like a short. This was a big break at VWAP. The consolidation's at 35 here. So I think to stair step down on Rivian. If the market were to push down, Rivian is rejecting $20 today. So remember, they had the Billy, the big raise. They broke down off the 20 level. It just got back to and rejected 20 bucks today. So that's a bit of a right-hand turn. I'd look for the short. May not take out the low, but if you can get something into the 30 level, the low is right in front of like 19.10. So if it gets to 19, that's not too bad at all. I'll join this one in front of VWAP on the next pop.
I mean, we're waiting to get longer, but what about Alibaba into the short? I know that we were long earlier, and just to show you what we did earlier, there's the big trade for me right off the open, not right off the open, but one of our first trades, and it was pretty much off the open actually. It came in, and we just noticed that it broke 88. We had written down $88 here for a long on our sticky note, right? And so when that came in, I was already mad because I wasn't even mad at this time yet. It's because Meta, we had 325 written down. It ripped that right straight up from there. We missed it. So we didn't want to miss Alibaba, but look how sort of shady this was in between 9 and 9:30. So some nice consolidation. It was nice at the bottom also was pretty much 88. It was 87.90. So that gave us some confidence there. That's why that first take is 20 cents, 35 cents, 50 cents, and then we are almost out. That's our last piece out there at 88.69 as we were waiting at 80 there, and it failed at 80. Then it came back in, and we got out of the last 20% there for basically flat once it broke that 90 level. So this is the kind of trading that I'm trying to do off the open. Wait for it to go like this. If it moons, great. We'll take pieces out, and if we can hold 20, 25, 30%, even better. But then when it came back here midday, well, this is 11 o'clock, we did take that. Okay, so here we go. Forget about Baba now. We are now into Google. So now we got to watch this very, very carefully. That bottom is 140, right? And so we just take a fill there. The market is now starting to head back in just a little bit. Again, the bias of shorting the whole market is definitely going to affect me at some point here. But there it is. Nice move in for Google. It's coming back to 140. Unfortunately, my long is at 140.17 because we took that fill there. And then there's the fill just at VWAP of 140. I think we got, 13? We got 15.
It's a
so
trap.
140.15. So, yeah, it could be a trap down here for sure.
Oh, not the law. I mean, I just got into Rivian short.
Oh, you got into Rivian short. Okay, well, that might be okay.
That's the trap.
I want to be confident down here into this level, 90. But I don't want to give a bunch back. Let's stop out. I can't have two stops in, so I got to cancel this other one. Okay, so let's stop out of a quarter if we take that 90. Okay, so 140, 139.97. Whoops, yeah, there it is. We will stop. I don't know what's going on here. We'll stop at a 25% of our position if it takes that. So. There we go. Oh, it just punched me out immediately right there. So I got to figure out what we did. But thank God it was only 25%. Let's buy that. Okay, here comes in. Let's buy that back and then set our stop properly. 139. You can go ahead. I'm just
Yeah, just very quickly, I did get it the first available pop in here on Rivian. It kind of allowed it to make a bit of a bounce to the upside. If it's going to be stair step down, that would mean holding on to this 30 area. Obviously, you've got resistance at 37. Apple, I thought we were getting a reload on this, but like even in this last little dip, like it's just not really even filling 179. So it's still looking like a long. Just don't want to be chasing it because the high is like 35s in here. Like, and this high is like 35, and then this high up here is 40. And if that's what you're going to get, then I want to make sure we're getting 179 as a price. I have my order on Burke. If it does break 40 bucks, then we take it. If it doesn't, then we don't. I think it's just pretty simple. Not a heck of a lot else I'm looking at. Amazon, maybe 131. Like that it broke 131, failed 131 very quickly, and then has come back right to this level. Like if you look at the 15-minute chart on Amazon, like it does look like a resistance level. My first thought would be that almost looks more appealing as a break above here. So yes, 131 is resistance, but you're above this high from yesterday. You're above the high off of this level from the beginning of the month. If anything, Amazon feels like it should be a breakout off this. Maybe tomorrow if the market doesn't have the juice. Like a 131 into 132 looks better. So not talking myself into that short at the high of the day. Tesla's relatively weak, but that needs to get another $1 before you can short that. What else is there? You guys tell us what you're looking at. I know that MTNB is on a lot of radars. That's now cleared the 50 level, so sometimes you can be too patient and want that dip buy. Let me just go ahead and cancel that. Now it's at like 52, so there's no point. I don't want to be sitting 10% underneath. Maybe the 50 level could turn into something. This is doing pretty good volume. And certainly, like the dip buy was the right idea, but I wasn't just sitting there. I was waiting for it to make a bottom and then trying to bid it, so I didn't get picked up. Big runner for it, up 230%, but it's a penny stock, right? So you've seen what can happen with that other thing, TPST. This won't do that, probably won't do that. But you have to keep in mind, like these percent gains, it's just different. Like you can easily have a stock that's 15 cents go to 50, and then tomorrow it could go to $1. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to hold up there. And when I say go to $1, there's big resistance at 75. I think if I saw that by the end of the day, I would short that. But with only 40 minutes to go, this is not getting to 7. I don't think it's getting to 75. Not really a level I like short until tomorrow, probably.
Yeah, I'm still not seeing really, I'm just looking to see if there's any big earnings coming through. No, nothing here today unless we go before market open with tomorrow. Here it is right here on, I don't know why I'm looking at it, not showing it, right there. So, you know, tonight I'm just looking, I'm getting set up and locked and loaded for the after show. So join me, traders stay late past 4 o'clock. We're here on that. So you can watch me with Chris Bretcher. We're going to go over some sector recaps and so on and so forth. But just doing the work here, go sort by market cap to see what we're doing. So today, sort by market cap, nothing after hours or anything today. Richardson Electronics, that's nothing. I don't even know who that is. And then October 12th, this is where we start to get a little serious. 73 billion. You know, it used to be a big market cap, kind of not anymore. That's Infosys. Remember, we had Brian Shannon yesterday actually is long Infosys. You gave the reason why. Let's go, Google.
Swing?
Swing trade, yeah. Let's see if we get anything back in here for Google, talking about taking some out right now into the 20s. So we do that. There it is. So we talked about that. Remember, this was a mistake, by the way. We were lucky enough to buy it right back at the same price. So that's good. Right now, Google spin it right here as the profits are starting to go to the upside. Screw your earnings calendar. Let's go back over to the money-making opportunity that we have right now. Plug, we just went long as well. New position alert on that. But Google right here continues. That siren is too loud. I just realized that in my ear right now. But there it is, Google. Started to take it up. It's already back right now, trying to become, just on this small move, it's becoming, you know, one of the top stocks here again for me, just on this small move. So hopefully this can get back up to the upside. I'm waiting for 29s. Let's go. Boom. There it is right there. Now we'll see. Diamond hands not yet on this trade. Let's see if we can get back going there. Nice take. This is the thing. Remember I said that we are holding on to shares, bigger positions. So we talked about that, which is why I said it only takes one position to send your net to the moon or to the graveyard. Let's see if this what happens right now with Google. We waited for this trade. We got it on right now. And here we go, 20 pennies in the money on something that's decent. So here we go, man. Nice little position sizing here for Google. Let's take some more out here at 31.32. See if this one can fly into the close, man. This will be a really good trade if it does. And then we hit this new position alert because Plug Power takes it out. Oops, just zoom back in there. It takes out, what am I doing? Takes out VWAP. Why is that funny how that's going back and forth there? But just took out VWAP, so here we go. Just touching 58s. Hopefully we can get a little bit higher than that. I do have a first piece out at 60s, actually. I thought I had 59s, but I'll wait for 60s since that's where it is right now. We'll see if it can go up through 60, and then after that, the rest hopefully is history. As we are just going to hold this back to 48s, so right into there. So it's like long 55s, breaking through 60, that'd be 5 cents, roughly 1 to 1, but we'll just take out a quarter if we are able to get 60s. But honestly, man, I have way bigger fish to fry right now. And it's not COD like yesterday, it's Google today. So nice little move back up here for the upside on that. That's what we're talking about. This is a real trade right here on Google. So like I said, I'm gonna try to describe my trades for you. Here it is on Google. We have it. We are now out of a third.
Yeah, so I was just talking to Juan in the back about a potential. It's not really
Okay.
quick, but I'm going to get back to this in a quick second. Apple, I did reload it finally.
I can keep going.
No, it's fine.
Not a big deal.
It's fine. Like the issue isn't even happening anymore.
Okay.
But he's just curious about it because I was talking to him.
All right.
This is basically the head of our IT. One of the things that we do at head office, if you're at the head office for Day Trade the World, is we always feel like a responsibility. If I see something on the platform that can be improved, we'll just let everybody know.
Oh, here he is right here. Hey,
He's
Juan,
right
how's
here.
it going?
But in 1 second, I reloaded 179 on Apple, offer at the high of the day. Just give me 2 seconds. I'm just going to tell him.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. All right, so again, it's Nike, it's downside. We're waiting for this to come through, 98.30. We're gonna wait to see if that can print. I'm still waiting for lower here on that. We just did get out some more. I'm gonna get out one more piece here at 32. I know that we're just kind of just getting out of these names pretty quickly here on Google, but look at this market trying to fall in. We'll take some more out right there at 30. We'll still wait for some. Actually, I'm going to cancel my 32s now. Let's put something real upside. Let's put something at 50. I know that's not even that big, but trust me, like we're trading prop here, and I've talked about putting on positions. So there we go. Like, and again, I'm trying to tell you when we've got on shares, and that's something that I know we maybe don't do too often here, but that's what I'm trying to do as we go. Like bigger positions and talking all about it. That's crazy. I'm sitting on Birkenstock at 40.75, okay, to get out of this. That's 40.75. So it goes up to my order and stops on a dime and then retraces all the way back in. But that recent buy is pretty good, but our average price is right here at 58. So let's go back over to BIRK now and do exactly that. Sit something maybe in the 60s there, and I know that's gonna be basically not a win, but if it comes up, let's get hit, then let's get hit 75, then let's continue up to the upside. Remember the play here is to be long into the close if we can. Our stop is going to be 40 flat. So if that comes in, we're out, and you know, Randy's your uncle. Okay, so here comes 60. There it is. Yes, sir, we got it.
Oh my God.
Like, honestly, guys, I mean, this would be great if this goes to the upside, but right now, this is what it's all about here today, is just stack it up here as we go. A new name, putting this, it's not new because we had it before, but new position, putting in the profits. Let's see if we can get going here on this one, as well as Burke, which we're watching out of the corner of our eye. It's trying to go now back into 40.60, so hopefully that will hit at some point. And then here goes Google back up to 37. Haha, I lied. I'm gonna take a piece out if we can get a 37. There it is. Let's go bang up on that one. And again, you know, okay, give me those 44s. Guys, honestly, I don't know. I'm not gonna hit anything. Let's just do this because you guys can see what's been happening right now. I'm just really proud to be able to do this in front of everybody and explain the positions, give you guys what's good right now. And that's that. So, you know, shout out to everybody else that's here. But there, look at this. Let's go. We don't have anything at 52. We should have. Let's put something at 57. Where did I say we'd try to? I just blew through 50 and we missed it. But this is a big trade alert. I hope you guys have it. I hope you're enjoying the show. It takes a lot, and I know I go on these rants, but like, you know, to be able to sit here, put these trades on for you and show you that it's possible. I mean, it's like 95 or more. I mean, just, you know, ask hiring manager or anybody around here, fail at day trading. And it's been like 21 years. And I'm just really glad to be able to show this to everybody. I've really changed my style of trading since the show began. Still happy with what we're doing. But like when something works out like this, that's going to be a good trade. So hopefully there's some people here that went long 140 with me. And there it is, nice little upside move. And then Burke we got a piece out on Burke there as well. So that's working out. And then, hey, man, all power to you, Plug, because this one also going upside on that break as well. So it's kind of about having the ability, we can watch Nike, but is having the ability to trade a whole bunch of different names. Like I said, we're 9-2 today. Apple, AMD, Amazon, Alibaba, Berkshire, Google, Meta, Nike, Plug, and then the biggest and the baddest of them all, man, we're not afraid. There's the market early. PPI comes, let's go, you know? So futures trader turned rebate trader, turned Google trader, Plug, you know, you sort of pick your poison there, and hopefully you're able to have some success. And that's what we're doing now. So, you know, good trade there. Brendan just gave us the imbalances, I believe, and rate now. Nope, sorry, not yet. That was another update, so we'll get what those are. Yesterday, man, it was 35 million to buy.
It'll be a nothing burger today.
Yeah, it came out as something to sell.
6 million.
So
6 million, but it's buy side actually.
okay, so buy.
You know what? It literally doesn't matter when it's 6 million. I appreciate that. It was just, again, it was something, I saw something in real time that I just wanted to let you know, the head of ITC on P per 8. It's kind of like a really small thing, but it's not. I wanted to show him just so we could see it. A couple of things did happen there. I moved my trail on Intel because it continues to go higher, so you can see there's the bid. If it gets to 3680, just want to show you the 3680 level on the 15-minute chart. There's a couple of tops. There was a failed break, which I had long at 3680, and then the lower high. That's a target. We get there, we're out. To me, sometimes it's a little bit obvious. You got to be flat by 4 o'clock anyways, but that's an easy like head and shoulders type of level. So I will be out of that one. Apple, it's the same story over and over again. It just cannot seem to break like the 40s. 179.40 is the top. You're seeing a tight little channel in there. We got the reload, but it cannot seem to break through. That's okay. Rinse and repeat it until it stops working. That MTNB, like ever since I didn't get long this stock, which is hilarious, now look at you. Really? Now it's at 65. That's not bad. Congratulations! Dip buy was all right, if you dip bought it. That's the key.
Which one? Oh, MTNB. Oh my God.
And I was actually joking when I said it's not. I said it's not going to get to 75, but the next big level is 75. So it's at 65 with a half an hour to go. So maybe it does get to 75. Everybody gets out of Tempest or whatever the hell that TPST and goes into this MTNB. Sometimes it's actually true, where you get a lack of interest or a reduced interest in whatever it was, like the hot new thing today, which is this thing, which is still halting it opens up, then it immediately halts. And now it's into MTNB. Great one if you got it. I favored the dip buy, I missed it by a little bit, and now it's just gonzo. I'm not going to get the short at 75 because I'm not paying for it with 27 minutes to go here. I do have this Rivian, which is not really doing much of anything. It didn't break VWAP, so I'm kind of in it. I'm not really seeing any reason why I want to take more shares because the longs look better right now. So I'm not completely convinced. If we start looking weaker in the market, then I might decide to add to it. Otherwise, I'm just stopping out at that local top, which it almost broke, as a matter of fact. And that Birkenstock, I've canceled my 40 break. I will no longer take it. It's just too late in the day.
Yeah.
So it was pretty close. It got down to 40.20. I'm like, yep, I like this short if it breaks 40 even. You're now with 25 minutes to go. You want some time for things to happen. You're running out. By the time it gets to $40 in breaks, you're probably looking at, not that much amount of time for it to fall like $1 or a couple of dollars. So could be a trade tomorrow. maybe we get it, maybe we don't, maybe it gaps away from that level. But $40 looks like a pretty big level on Birkenstock day one. 40.50 is where the long was at. But 40 looks like the big support level heading into tomorrow. TPST, I know it's halting and opening back up. And seriously, up again?
Yeah,
No, I thought this one was actually looking like it was going to give it up. And now it's... But you can't trade this. It's going halt to halt. Like, even, like the brief moments where it doesn't halt, this is a 3-minute chart, by the way. I've got here, it's longer than 15 minutes. That's one, and then another one back at like 10 o'clock. So since 10:20, there has been one time that it's open more than 10 minutes without halting. Yeah, good luck for you if you can trade that one. I guess like that's right in here, and then that's when it did this move. If there's a strategy around that, I haven't seen it. Like when it consolidates, that's not bad. Like you can find something to do with this around $4. Win or lose, at least there's something there. But from halt to halt, there's not much to dig into there.
Okay, so just real quick here on, yeah, so we're already in, you already talked about Burke, so we don't have to do too much about that. Plug, I think we got 60s twice there. No, we got 60s and then we got 62s. The high was 63. I'm waiting for, I thought I had an offer at 59 or so, which I do again, as it's starting to pull back in. So maybe that break of VWAP only gave us right there 8 cents, which we should have taken because if we're going 1-to-1, then that was back to the downside right there. So, and I just want to say, man, thank you so much to Shohan and some of you in the chat there, Boss, so on and so forth. Some of your comments are very kind. So thank you so much for that. But again, like there, we are now, we're now out of about 70% or so of this Google trade, as we just, again, it's sometimes tough to trade, obviously, as you guys have seen. But you know, you come back in and all you really did was sort of get to the top there of the NASDAQ one more time. So forget about all this. That's the high of the day right there. But you just came back into a selling spot, and then that just happened to hit again right there. Sort of the same spot that we had about an hour ago, or yeah, an hour ago. What time is it? Yeah, an hour ago. So, you know, right into there. So we did hit that high again. So if you're going to kind of do the same thing for the bottom, we already have that line right there. Touch, touch, touch. Maybe back here. Again, I don't know if the market is going to have a tank in it right now. It's already 336. We do have the imbalances coming in just 15 minutes at this point. So that could be a catalyst back down to the downside. So we'll still respect our outs, but because the best we got on this, so most of the outs are right here, sort of at the 50 period 40s. I mean, you saw me hitting keys when we were 45, 46. We did get that 52 fill, by the way. So these are about 35-cent winners. So honestly, if we break below here, I'm not going to give this too much lower than 140 anymore. So I am now officially canceling this position, like Neil was talking about with Birkenstock and so on and so forth. It's getting to be that time now. And I just wanted to say, despite me only starting, and this is why, because again, trying to be real with everything that's happening, Google is the #1 P&L stock traded on the show today. So, and that's off of just starting at 230. So it just takes one good trade in order to make that. So let's wait to see, you know, if it does hold that. Obviously, this is position pending. So if it does tank back, we'll give some of that back. But it's actually Birkenstock and Google now going back to back with that. So it just goes to show you, because I know there's a lot of traders that, we've seen this all the time, you know, that will take afternoons off. They'll make a big trade in the morning, then they'll say, I'm done. There's actually nothing wrong with that strategy. You know, I feel like if you hit certain daily
goals. It depends on your style of trade.
Yeah, exactly. It's all about style.
You should trade your style, not your net. Those are two very different things. Because if you're trading based on the market could care less what the number you see is. Nobody knows what that is. And it's completely irrelevant to all your trading. So fixating on it's like, what's the point? But like you could have a style of trade, which is I'm looking for these setups, and they're no good at noon. Or they're no good, or it's better at this time. Like that's the kind of.
Or you hit the one setup.
Or like that's the one. This was your A+. You hit that. Okay, well, what else is there? The market's barcoding. That's more true. That's a very true for futures traders. Futures traders, anyone I know that's ever made money futures trading, like it's not by getting in and out a million times in a day. They just wait for something very specific and they hit it. I'm a bit dumbfounded by this MTNB. because now there's a decent chance. On the off chance it gets to $1, I've just paid for locates because it hit 85. Actually 87. I thought 75 would have some flex in it, but now this thing wants to run to $1. It was 15 cents, man. If it gets to $1, I'd probably take a shot at this, this is stupidity at this point.
I didn't even realize that last.
I want to throw up because this could have just
God.
been a 50 break, but it didn't seem like it had that much juice. Now it's done 300 million shares, and I'm not chasing it up here. I'm not going to do it. I am out of Intel. I talked about sort of having that out in front of 3680, so it goes to the low. It broke VWAP. Didn't go for the reload there. Should have traded this instead of Apple. Like Apple's been able to bounce 30 cents. Well, Intel off VWAP also bounced 25 cents, but one of those stocks is 36 bucks, the other one's 180. I can tell you which one's a better long, but this MTNB, wow, congrats to everyone that caught that. But I feel like it's a little bit much at these prices at 340. One more push, the high now being 89, gets you to that dollar range. That's what I'm looking for. It's entirely possible it could just turn right here and then I missed the trade, but I want the backing of that psychological dollar. I want it to be in the 90s when it potentially turns around. And I don't mind making a stop out at 101. If I stop out at 101, it goes to 102 and drops to 70, that's okay by me. I want to have a trade where I can have an out at exactly that dollar level, or pretty much at that dollar level. Let's go to the desk and take care of some business.
Why did that not cancel?
Brought to you by IG.com. Trade Forex pairs like Euro USD with spreads as low as 0.8 pips and zero commissions at IG. Terms and conditions apply.
So the dude trader, what broker has locates? Just understand that like we're at a day trading firm, a prop floor, and with our format and setup, it's very likely that we're going to have better locates because we have to be out of the position at the end of the day. It's a very big difference getting locates on a stock like this to trade that day than it is to hold it a week or hold it overnight. So when we tell you we're paying X amount, like it might be different from your broker, but that has to do with volume and the fact that we're not holding it overnight. So we do have locates on this stock. I can tell you they were dirt cheap. Yeah, like 1/8 of 1 cent a share for locates on MTNB. That's what we pay. But again, we have to be flat at the end of the day. Very, very different proposition for us than it would be for most people.
Yeah, I wouldn't hold MTNB or Tempest, but I mean Therapeutics, TPST. If you have those wins in your portfolio right now, might be something to look at as far as taking it. Let's go. Here we go, man. Spin it right now. Wow, what an afternoon. What an afternoon this has been. It goes to the same thing that I was saying 10 minutes ago about making the real trades. Look at this Birkenstock trade again, as we just got out at 75. It's about catalysts. We looked at that Netflix. We were already long. We weren't probably not going to go short that name. But look, it just ripped up again. There it is. We actually get to 75. I didn't change my 75 being stubborn. So we actually get to 75 right there. So now you're seeing a nice pushback to the upside on Burke. So there it goes, watching out for 41 bucks to come through on Burke right now. Hopefully that does hit at some point as well. That's my next offer, 41 flat. So if that hits, great. And again, we talked about we wanted to be long Birkenstock into the close. So that's what we're doing. It didn't break 40. So again, being a risk manager, this is what we're doing. So, all right. And then obviously you could see what Google's doing right now, 50 cents now in the money as it continues to go up. So let's see where this one goes, man. Hopefully higher. I'm waiting at 140.85. We've already have a tick up here on this sort of trade. It's not the same trade, but on Google 140.65. But if we sort of zoom back a little bit right here, you could see that high of the day is just 141. Then you have some tops here, 140.80s. So I'm actually going to see if we can get a little bit higher into that and see if it will take this down. So right now, that's what we're doing. We're watching out for that one. Burke is what it is. And then unfortunately right now, Plug, I'm just hoping that there's some sort of an imbalance that comes in on this name because it doesn't really look like it wants to go. Right now, we'll put this up here so you guys can see if I switch over to any names. These are from the brokers, so these are only going to be NYSE imbalances right now. And as you can see, these are from the floor brokers. So they're just inputting on their computer what they see. So right now there is a buy or a bid. I guess it's a buy. It's a market on close. So a buy of 1.65 million shares on Coke. They did have a total at one point of this plus that. So 3.3 million shares at one point. He's found, this is why they do it. They advertise what they have, and then that gives traders an opportunity to pair off. So if I'm at Barclays or something and Neil's at Needham or whatever, and I have a buy for this many shares and Neil has a sell for that many shares, we can give it to the market maker, and then they would just pair those off and say, you guys are good. You have 1 million shares at whatever the closing price is. Neil's would be to sell or buy, mine would be the other way, and that's how that works. So that's what we're looking for, and sometimes you get it one way or the other, right? It's imbalanced. So right now, it's perfectly balanced. Brendan gave us a 6 million. If you add up all of these, all the way down, it's 6 million net to the buy side. So that is really small. On imbalanced days, Neil and I have sat here and read to you, oh, it's 4 trillion.
Yeah, much
it's
bigger. 5.8
trillion. No, sorry, billions. Trillion. That'd be hilarious if it was trillions.
If it was a trillion, the market breaks.
Yeah, billions.
Although,
yeah, it's like, that's basically, well, I mean, we have stocks that are, you know,
fat fingers
huge market caps in the stocks.
Fat fingers can happen.
If someone's like, oh, I want to sell the whole market cap of Apple, yeah, maybe, but I don't think that that's so.
You know what's hilarious?
Misspoke there, Bill.
If somebody threw an order that egregious into the auction, it would be instantly flagged. Like they would at the market, like the specialist,
like, you sure,
whatever
bro?
you call them now, the floor broker specialist I call them specialists. They would go right away, be like, who sent this? They'd be on the phone like, what the heck is this? I'm not putting that in the system, and they would question it. Trust me, I know for sure that's what would happen to that order. PHIO, wow. Sharif's gonna hate this one, because I know he took off to go to the gym. Look at the support at $2. I know this is what he was looking at, that $2 level. That's why I can say this. It looks like that's the next one to go. But you have to be patient. I said the plan of action on MTNB was allow it to break 90, look for the short that's actually off $1. It got to 89 cents, and now it's at 71. So this is the one I was waiting for. Wanted to see it get up to that dollar level. It was right there, ready to push. And then the second, I'm like, I'm liking this. It then turns around. Now it's at 70. So sometimes it happens like this, where if I take this short, I don't necessarily want to give it. That's a little bit more room than I want to give it this late in the day. If it had been to that 90 level, if you can get like 92s, 93s, I like that R&R. But I did feel this was getting way too, and you're looking at the tape as well, it's getting out of hand. Like a pullback is just natural on this when it makes that kind of a sympathy play. So the second this happened, what happened in PHIO? Where like this started going the second you pulled back on MTNB. Almost on a dime. It's like just the money went somewhere else. It's weird how that happens, but it's still true. We see it time and time again. So if you're watching these as a group, sometimes you want to have like, if you trade, that's what you trade, maybe just have the 2 or 3 of them that are running on low float news. These are the runners of the day. Just respect that. You're right, Glitch. Let fly, Boeing, fly. Yeah, fly higher, Boeing, so I can sell you. I have an offer in front of the high on Apple. I'm just going to move that down because it's 357. A little bit further, if you go back into yesterday's high, like this is actually in the 60s, so I'm going to respect that. If it can break the 50s, I'm just going to get out in front of the 60s. I already tightened up my trailing stop. I am no longer giving it to 179. I want to give it to the previous high, which was right there at 179.35. With 2 minutes to go till the imbalances, let's be real. Not sure how much further this is going to go. But that PHI, I think it's 100% a sympathy play, so I would not be chasing this move. Again, the second volume came out of MTNB. PHIO, which was doing absolutely nothing, spiked up, and you can see it's already giving it up. You don't want to get caught chasing that move. Anything like this, it better have news that caused that spike, and if I don't see it, you don't have to take it. Ooh, Amazon 132.
What?
Thank you, Cena. Cena 97.14. Amazon 132. This could be a 350 special. Where if the imbalance comes out to the sell side, the high is 132.03. So you could almost the idea is like you throw a stop above the high, And if it just mean reverts off this level, you might get a quick little chance to risk 5 to 10 cents, and even a small pullback gets you the win. But you're basically looking for the coin flip that you've got a good level to work off of. If it comes out a bid, your stop's going to get run anyways. If it comes out a sell, you can get yourself a nice whipsaw action. But that's a trade I would want to put on really, really tight to 350. Ian Rispetto, I'm Lily Long. I remember you said you're long also. Just curious, you staying in. Actually, candidly, I took 10% out of my Eli Lilly today at lunchtime. I covered 10% of my personal account in Eli Lilly at the 600 level, and only because I was going to do it the first time and then didn't do it. So now the market gave me an opportunity to do what I was kind of like, I don't know what the word is. Like I was too hesitant to take off a winning trade. It was such a good winner that I didn't want to get out of it, but it was too big. Essentially, it was way too much of like my healthcare in my own personal portfolio. I'm like, this is ridiculous. I should trim some and then put that money right. I put that usually right back into either the SPY or the Q, whichever one I'm buying in that interval. Like the money goes out, it goes right into something else, either in the same sector or there. So 350 is about to happen. We're getting those imbalances in less than 10 seconds. Trailing stop on Apple. Make sure we get that one out, and then we'll let you know what these come out as. It was a nothing to buy, 6 million overall. We'll see if there's actually individual action here. Apple, 2 million to buy. That's good. Microsoft, what? Oh, I have it by paired volume. That's why.
Okay,
like,
okay.
Well, I see Apple, and like Microsoft is nothing, but Apple is the big one at 2 million to buy. You got Coke here to buy 1.5, Pfizer buy. What else do we have? Amazon, 840,000 to buy. That should be Apple coming out at that high of the day because I left that order in. So, hey, INFY, 500,000 to buy. All of a sudden, like, you know what? It probably shows up every now and then, but I'm only thinking about it because you brought it up.
Yeah, Infosys. Yeah, that was. What is that doing today?
Yeah, Apple high of the day. I'm out. Just got to ring the register. I just do it at the high. Buy and balance takes me out there. I was looking at that chart. I'm like, cheeky wise, I can see why he likes it. INFY. If you look at the daily.
You know what?
Well, that, yeah,
I don't think it was.
It wasn't Infosys?
It was. No, I mean, it doesn't matter. I understand the chart. It was not this.
It was something else?
It was IS. I'll find what it was after.
Because
now that I see this, because I'm pretty sure it was a higher price stock, and I didn't actually even click on this. Again, I can go find.
This bounce off 17 on the daily actually looks good on this stock.
Yeah.
Technically, anyway.
I mean, this is the thing. Like, if you throw enough, as many hooks out there, eventually you're going to catch a fish, right? So I'm just going to go here. This is who we're talking about live yesterday on the show. Comes all the time now. He's a regular guest, Brian Shannon. Shout out to this guy right here. Here's the book right now that he wrote. So hold on a second. You written 2 books. There it is. Thanks, Brian, for retweeting that, by the way. All right. It's just on here. There it is. Here it is. IONS.
Oh, okay.
So
no,
it's
I know
Ionis Pharmaceuticals.
I know that.
Yeah, so there it is, $45. And I think we talked about where his stop was going to be 46 and change, something like that. So my bad, Brian. If you're watching, it was IONS. So good little look on that one. Okay, just real quick here as we continue to look at Google. So we just got another piece out there at 54. Look, I have that offer all the way up here at 80. It doesn't look like it's going to come through, so now I'm just going to try to take some out. I got to get over there to the desk, so join me tonight with Chris Brecher. We'll have some good talk there as well. I want to thank everybody, obviously, today for all of the support. As I said, I would try to find exactly what he wanted to talk about. Oh, here it is. And yeah, the reversion trade with stocks prior to earnings. So I'm not even 100% sure what that means, but we're going to find out when he comes through. Wow, TPST. I was joking earlier when I said to Chow back there, I said, oh, TPST is only up 5,000%. Like, it was only up 1,000% at that time.
Honestly, it's ridiculous.
But there it is, halted now at 927.
It wants 10.
Holy, man, this stock ain't playing. All right. It doesn't look like we're going to get that kick up right now for BIRK. I could just punch this out. It looks like they're kind of stacking the offer here a little bit. Like, that's what's called stacking, when you get multiple gateways, all with basically the same amount. Like now they're going to stack it at 36 most likely. No, they're not. They're not really following it down, so that's okay. But anyways, I wouldn't be surprised if you just all of a sudden see like 7 or 8 gateways all of a sudden show up here. Kind of like what we're like, look, they're not on the bid. They're, see, it's stacking, but it's getting less and less. So the same trader is looking for 2,000 shares, and this is what's driving this down. He's looking for it on ARCA. He's looking for it on the NASDAQ. So see, still pushing it down. He's not getting any of this, by the way. There it is. So there we go. Someone hit him. Now he's gone. So let's see if we can get there. Oh, showed back up for another 2K there. This time on EdgeX. They're hitting it. They're hitting it. So there it goes. If there was more time left in the day, you could probably take this name long, but these offers keep on coming back. So for me, probably get a piece out here. There it is. We'll take some out there at 27s or whatever it is. We're long at 45s here. So
40 break tomorrow could be spicy.
yeah, I'm just going to, honestly, man, just grab this out right now.
Oh.
The move's not happening.
So Havana Woody, like, and again, like, look, TTO, I see a lot of people talk about TTO late in the day. I get it, it's making a breakout, but I want to say one thing quickly about this. This is not TPST. Like this won't do a TPST, or at least, its chances of doing it are, something so negligible, you might as well try to win Powerball, because it's like TPST has a 7 million float. Whereas TTOO has like 300 million, okay, it's not 700 million, but 330 million float. So yes, TPST was a 24-cent stock yesterday. TTOO was a 26-cent stock an hour ago or 2 hours ago. But it's very different, those types of moves. Like you get that on Tempest because of the float. And that's the only reason that it can do what it's doing. For anyone that is interested, when a stock halts this late in the day, it doesn't usually, it's not supposed to anyways. Usually you don't get opens in the last 10 minutes because the open will now be 4 o'clock. At the actual close at 4 will be the reopen, typically speaking, unless something is different here. And then you can trade it in the aftermarket if you're able to. And it's indicating an open of $9.99 because why not? Like, why wouldn't it just open at $9.99 right at 4 o'clock and get to $10? I mean, congratulations to anyone that had it. I don't think there's been a way to trade it reasonably risk to reward since $4 and then maybe the $2 level. Everything up here is just halt to halt, which if you've got it early, it's much different to pay yourself out and then just be able to hold to the moon. I think it's a lot easier to do that. But again, just a ridiculously crazy move that you got to keep in mind what's really going on here with the float. As I mentioned, PHIO giving it back. It was a sympathy play to MTNB, which didn't quite get to $1, but that was about right. Got way out of hand, got to 90 cents, well, almost 90 cents, 89, pulls back over 33%, over a third. This just pulled back in there, or at least actually about a third. So big time pullback in MTNB. From one to the other, they just keep on moving. Oh, we haven't talked about this one. Apple, as I said, I got out. And I'll show you the out here and then get to NVIDIA. Apple's still not breaking that high. Actually, now it's kind of a cent or two above that high. Gets to 179.67, it looks like. But how about this name? Didn't really talk about NVIDIA today. Is that still Apple for some reason? But NVIDIA just took out the high. 2%, but the story is just holds right on to the pre-market support at 460. And then it's been a rocket ship to the upside. Once it breaks VWAP, where's your support? Right back at VWAP. This is what I was hoping Tesla would have done above that 264 level. That could have been a good jump off. Instead, NVIDIA just continues to be the one. It was just bouncing off $400. Now it has a shot to get back to that lower high at 480, 490. That's an easy resistance level. 480 to 480 is going to be an easy one, I think, when it gets there. Look for a bit of a turn. With 2.5 minutes to go, somebody's trying to sell 60,000 at 468. More power to them on NVIDIA. I'm assuming they're covering a long and not initiating a short position. But I'm not putting anything new on. I'll watch Tempest just out of what's and giggles to see what happens at 4 o'clock. It's now indicating a 989 open. That's insane.
Oh my God.
What about Tupperware? That was another squeeze play today. Yeah, it's not really doing much. Decent. It's a good move today, but it didn't really fly off the top. The problem with this is likely all these other ones that are going. Like Tupperware, huge short float, breaking a double top. Probably on a normal day, this might have had some juice to go, but with all these other ones flying, PHIO, TPST, MTNB, all that good stuff, maybe not enough juice for Tupperware, which has only done 50 million shares. worth keeping an eye on for tomorrow up that 50%. But imagine me saying not doing much when it's up 50%. That's the Tempest problem.
I think Tempest has a chance to go to like
HKD something.
yeah, it could go crazy here in the aftermarket. So I'll be watching that for sure, as we don't have too many earnings to go through.
It could go to 5 or 20. Like both of those, I think are possible outcomes.
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't know if it could go. I don't know if it. Yeah, I guess it could go. $5 is, I guess.
$5 is
Still up 2,000%, but yeah, you would unbelievable there.
It's kind of stupid to say
as that goes. But okay, just a couple more minutes left. I'm flat. You can see we're both flat. So heading into the close, that'll generally be the story for us, unless we're waiting for something. But with only a couple minutes or 1 minute left right now, it's 140.65 is basically as high as we got. Our best out on this was 58s. We just took a bunch of 56s, and I just offered 56 and got out, and that was that. So okay. That's it, man. Meh. Upside move, out before it absolutely broke, so no real damage there. We talked about our Nike trade, and then we did just get out. I'm going to talk about this in a couple minutes when I go back over the show, but there's Burke again, not really moving into the close. So I'm going to head over there, 30 seconds left. It's going to be Adair on the bell.
That's right. 20 seconds to go. Adair's on the bell. I'll let you guys know where this thing opens up at 4 o'clock, because that's when it should open back up for trading. Again, if you can trade in the post market, no one ever went broke taking profit. Holding that overnight's an interesting proposition. But in 8, 7, 6, 5, and you can see it on the board. Let's ring it. Happy hump day. And of course, you better darn believe it broke $10. So yet it opens up at pretty much $9.80, breaks 10 instantly. What a ridiculous ride. I really hope people have banked on this, and hopefully no one gets caught holding the bag, which we all know does happen from time to time. Want to shout out to Fabian Ramin on the 1s and 2s. Mark, who was as usual all over the place. A couple of times I've seen him and Rob on the ladders as usual. On the midday, fantastic job by Obi and Sharif as well, especially that PHIO move. And Adara doing a fantastic job. Got a lot of love in the chat, some super chats as well, as she's continuing her trading journey. I'm happy to be back, but we got more to get to. We're going to throw it to the desk. We're going to talk about some mean reversion plays, it looks like. Everyone likes a good mean reversion with Chris Bretcher in the recap show right now. Head to the desk with Sean.
Hello, everybody, and if you're tired of my face, well, you're going to get a little bit more of it right now. Thank you for joining me here, Traders Stay Late. This is your market recap show. We do